Is Thomas Massie running for president? Well, Jack Dorsey just endorsed him, and it shot his fundraising through the roof. Let's be real clear right now. There's been no formal announcement that Massie is going to run for president. He's up for the Senate in 26 in Kentucky, but he's been very vocal about Trump not releasing the Epstein files, been very vocal about it. And there's a little bit of a movement to push him to run for president because Trump technically can't run again. I'm sure he's going to try to stage a false flag and, oh, we're going to suspend the elections. Get ready for that. Get ready for elections getting suspended. The midterms are a year from now, right? Just get ready for that. Oh, it's too crazy. We've been attacked. We got to suspend the elections. And here comes some martial law just to make you safe. They'll make Americans feel really unsafe deliberately and then come in and say, we'll come to your aid. But no elections. And Trump just needs to stay in power a couple more years after his second term is up because he's got to unfix all the problems from Joe Biden and Obama, right? My name is Graham Elwood. You're watching the Bitcoin Vigilante. We're going to get into it. That's how you support our show on chain. There's fiat ways down here. So again, Thomas Massie has not officially announced he's running for president at all. He's got a campaign to run for 2026. But this is getting a little traction. So former CEO Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey endorsed Rep. Thomas for president in a post on X that gained over 10 million views, highlighting divisions within the Republican Party. Massie, a Libertarian Republican in his 7th term representing Kentucky's 4th district, faces calls from President Donald Trump for his removal from Congress due to opposition to foreign aid and efforts to release Jeffrey Epstein's files. Yeah, Massie's one of these people that's like, why are we giving money to Israel and Ukraine? What happened to America first? What's going on, and this is actually good, is Republicans, some Trump supporters and some Republicans are calling out Trump for not doing what he said he was going to do. Hey, liberals, maybe you should do that when the Democrats are in office. No, just keep blaming the other party. This is the first time I've actually seen this really start to happen. And one of the reasons I think this is happening is rank and file Republicans, by and large, voted for Donald Trump. But the Trump supporter was a lot of people who were very just disenfranchised. Some of them were big Rand Paul supporters. Some of them voted for Bernie. They were just like, we want something else. Trump ran on that. I knew he wasn't that, but some people thought he was. I get it. You're desperate. You live in some part of the country where the jobs are gone. There's nothing. There's an opioid epidemic. The factories closed, the coal mines closed, whatever, and you're desperate. And Trump is a good salesman, good con man. But now they're like, wait a minute, you're not doing these things, and people are calling. And the fact that like Massie is doing this publicly about the Epstein thing. Because the narrative was only Democrats are on the Epstein list, which anyone such as myself or Whitney Webb who's been following the Epstein thing, I can tell you it's Republicans, it's Democrats, it's everybody. It's multiple royal families. It's crazy. So they're holding him accountable. And like I'm watching Marjorie Taylor Greene and she's basically going out there out-lefting the Democrats. It's crazy. I don't know what world I'm living in. This is like I'm agreeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene more. And then I listen to the Democrats and they're just like, we need Gavin Newsom to run. I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm sorry. But anyway, Trump is then now trying to publicly go after Massie and get him kicked out. And it's not doing well. Trump's approval rating is something like 37%. He's not doing well. So he keeps trying to create, Jimmy Kimmel, or I'm going to send the National Guard to Chicago and Washington, D.C. That's good. That's catnip for his base. Because that's that sort of right-wing fascist racist code of we're going to go to those black cities and get those blacks and Latinos and blacks and browns and get them in order. That's what that is. That I know that kind of racism. I know what that is. That's what, and that riles up his base, gets them all excited. But I'm glad that there's actual Republicans, and Massie, good for him for doing this. He's against abortion. He thinks it's a sin, and he votes against it. I don't agree with him on that, and probably a bunch of other stances. He's probably a big Second Amendment guy, but the fact that he's going after Trump for not releasing the Epstein files and for funding these wars, that's what, and you should agree with thing. And this is the thing that the left always misses. Conservatives will disagree on 9 things, but agree on one thing and go, yeah, let's team up. Lefties, progressive lefties, liberals, whatever you want to call yourself, will agree on 9 things, but not agree on one thing and go, I'm out of here, forget it. And that's why the left is always fighting and never getting shit done. They just want this absolute stuff. So I'm glad he's doing this. The endorsement has boosted Massie's fundraising and fueled discussions about a potential 2020 presidential bid, exploring tensions between Libertarian and MAGA factions in the GOP. And then his response to this is, dogs don't bark at parked cars. There was a reason some of the world's richest and most powerful people are trying to get me out of Congress. This is Massie's post on October 20th. I'm just one of 435 votes, but I bring transparency to an otherwise dark and corrupted institution of government. This is crazy. And then all these people in the comment section, wow. And now everyone's trying to see who does he have a chance at becoming president. We're a long way off. And again, I don't know if we're even going to have elections in 2028. But if Trump keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to suspend the elections. The Supreme Court's going to vote him as Supreme Emperor of the United States for the next 1,000 years or whatever. And that's what he wants to do. When they had that speech with the generals, these generals that swore an oath to the Constitution, I don't know if they're men enough or tough enough to actually fight Trump. They just seem like a lot of just kind of crybabies. They have their medals and they talk like I was in Afghanistan and Iraq. Yeah, so was I. So, if you're in the military and you're not defending the Constitution, you're defending a president, you're corrupt as the day is long, and you shouldn't be in the military. Especially if you're a general, you should resign your commission. If you're going to let this guy do this, you're trampling over the Constitution as a general in the military or an admiral. You're a weak human being. You have nothing. You're the weakest. Get the medals out of my face. Stop giving me your military talk and tough talk. And I can do 100 push-ups. Good for you. You can do 100 push-ups for a king, a dictator. That's not what America is, and you, of all people, should know this. So any of these generals that are backing what Trump is doing, you're backing fascists. I had 2 uncles that fought fascism in World War II. One was in the Army, and one was in the Marines. So my uncle who fought in the Marines fought at the end of World War II. He fought in Guam, and he also fought in the Chosin Valley in the Korean War. So that's that. And any conservatives want to tell me I'm not a good patriot or the left hates America. I hate what America's become, but I've done 7 comedy tours in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Kuwait, so nobody can question my patriotism. I'm so critical of the United States because it has failed on its promise to me and millions of Americans. So part of being an American is I have the constitutional right to criticize my government, and I've done it under Biden, Obama, and this idiot. They're all idiots. They're all parasites and idiots. And they don't serve the American people. They serve their donors. That's just why I vote third party. The Clintons are maggot-ridden, soulless parasites. I think I hate Bill. I definitely hate Bill more than I hate Hillary, but I hate them they're both awful. But if I say I hate Hillary, I'm suddenly a sexist. I hate Donald Trump and Hillary equally. But that's the addiction of the American people. American people are addicted. They're addicted to red versus blue. They're addicted to my team better than your team, and they don't want to learn from it. So, and the empire is collapsing. So follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Shave your knuckles for justice.